guess you could say I was a little bit of a personal development junkie for a while. I wouldn't say I'm like that anymore, but through all of that time, getting older and a little bit of trial and error, I've kind of found the life hacks and adulting habits that have really made my life go so much smoother and have just kind of helped me get my life together. So I thought, why not share with you the ones that have really helped me the most right now. Number one is no useless phone time in the morning. I noticed in 2020, I developed a habit of not only just picking up my phone first thing in the morning, but mindlessly scrolling for a really uncomfortable, really unhealthy amount of time. And I wasn't doing anything useful with my phone. I was just scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. And if I have a good morning, I'm more likely to have a good day. My morning is the foundation for my day. So if I started off by scrolling on TikTok and getting those quick dopamine hits that are actually really bad for productivity, and scrolling on Instagram and comparing myself, that I'm just not really setting myself up for the best type of day I could have. So now when I wake up, I just avoid my phone for as long as possible. And I am able to do so much more in that time. I didn't realize how much extra time I have in the morning for reading, looking out my window while I drink my coffee, hanging out with Noah before he goes to work. And yes, sometimes I will still use my phone in the mornings, but if I'm using it, I make it useful. I'm not mindlessly scrolling. Instead, I'm playing Spotify for some dance music in the background, or maybe I'm listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video while I get ready. Next is the 15-minute timer method. This has really helped my life and helped me get a lot more done throughout the day. There's so many tasks that I just can't stand doing, that I overthink it and I think about doing and I procrastinate and put it off. And really it would take me a lot less time if I just got up and do it. So what I've started doing is this, for those little tasks that I don't like to do, like cleaning the house, doing a workout, anything like that, set a timer for 15 minutes and then commit to just getting as much as you can done in that 15-minute span of time. Because 15 minutes isn't a scary number. It doesn't seem like 2 hours of cleaning or 2 hours of a workout. It's 15 minutes. And usually when you know you only have 15 minutes, you're less likely to procrastinate. You're really going to go for it and go all in and focus and, use your time wisely, and you'll get a lot more done than you think. Meal prepping. This is something that I avoided for a long time because I didn't like the idea of eating the same meal a few times a week. And honestly, you don't have to do that. You can switch it up completely. But we just like to keep things simple when it comes to our lunches. We don't meal prep for our dinners or for our breakfast, but just by meal prepping our lunches for the week, we save so much time, so much energy. I make sure to get a full meal for lunch every day versus snacking and forgetting to eat. And it's honestly such a relief every day when I just get to grab that container and pull it out of the fridge. Sleep schedules are really important. I really rebelled against this for a long time because I love staying up really late. I actually used to feel like my most creative time period was at nighttime, like sometimes midnight till 4 a.m. before I met Noah. But then I got older and I realized how unsustainable that is, and I was just never getting enough sleep because I wanted to get up with him in the mornings, and then I was going to bed so late, and it was just wreaking havoc on how I felt. And humans need sleep. That is literally when our body repairs itself. You need to give yourself a break and give yourself some rest. And for me, becoming a morning person and getting up on time is not possible if I don't get enough sleep. For me, I knew I wanted to start getting up at 6:30 a.m. every single day with Noah, so I forced myself up. You just gotta get up every single morning. And there were a few nights when my body just still wasn't used to going to bed early. But after 2 or 3 nights of this, I was exhausted, and I went to bed at like 10:30, I guess. I think around 10:30. I got a good 8 hours of sleep, and now I sleep from like 10:30 to 11, sometimes 11:30, and I get up between 6:30 and 7 every single morning. My therapist that I used to have back in LA, she actually told me that having a healthy sleep schedule and getting enough sleep is one of the #1 things she recommends anyone with anxiety. This is more of a mindset, but it's really helpful. If it takes less than 15 seconds, do it now. There are so many little quick tasks that I neglect to do, and by doing so, they add up to big overall tasks. For example, putting your shoes wherever your shoe rack is as soon as you come in the door, putting my keys in a drawer versus just throwing them down on the counter, putting my jacket in our jacket closet versus throwing it on a chair. All 3 of those tasks would probably take about 15 seconds each, but if I neglect putting my shoes away, my jacket away, the keys away, putting my mask on the counter, leaving my coffee cup out in the morning after I'm done drinking it. When you neglect those little bitty things over and over, before you know it, that one tiny little mess becomes a really big mess that might take you a few hours. Versus if you just do those small things that take less than 10 seconds, when you are seeing it, it's over with. and you save yourself so much time and so much hassle. Let technology work for you. I've always been someone who really just likes to use my planner and my journal and write things down. I've never really used like online apps that make life easier. And why was I not doing that? They literally make life easier. For example, one of mine that I really love to use is Trello. It's where I plan out all of my content. I can color code them. I can put them on a calendar. And just by doing that, I always have it there. Versus if I make a list of my YouTube video ideas, I lose that list within like 30 seconds and I never see it again. And then in 2 more days, I have to replan it. But by having it digitally on my computer, I can always go back to it. And you can use apps like this for grocery shopping. You can use it for tracking your period. I actually just use my Google or like my Apple calendar to write out when my period starts every single month. So when I start feeling cranky and crampy and not feeling my best, I can look and be like, oh, my period's about to come up. I shouldn't stress over this. Feel good playlist. Music is something that really can speak to our soul. I feel like it is almost like subconscious manifesting. You can use it, or like subconscious affirmations. You know, I love the Just Like Magic Ariana Grande song if you want to get manifesting in your subconscious. So go ahead and make yourself a playlist of all the songs that put you in the mood that you want to be in every single day. Make a feel good, boss babe, happy life playlist that you can play whenever you need to kind of pump yourself up for your daily tasks. Set days and monthly intentions. I think we get so caught up in the New Year's resolutions that that's one time for the whole year. And a year's a really long time. I have actually started realizing why, instead of planning my New Year's resolutions, why not have monthly resolutions and monthly goals? This is something I'm just now getting into. If you want a video more about it, I can do so. But every single month, I'm gonna start sitting down and decide what are my specific goals for this month. Instead of saying I wanna read 12 books in a year, why not? I wanna read 1 book in March. That sounds so doable. And then if you mess up 1 month, you're not like, oh, I failed my yearly resolutions. It's like, oh, I messed up 1 month, but I'm gonna start over again in a few days. Next is habit stacking. Just like writing down one thing on your to-do list at a time, don't wake up one day like after watching this video and think, today I'm gonna start 20 new habits right now. That's very overwhelming. I used to think that I could do that. I would always tell myself, oh, I'm gonna do all these new habits, and I would get burnout and I would get stressed. And I didn't want to do one habit at a time because I thought, well, I want it all now. You got to get over that. I had to get over that. If you focus on one new habit until you have it down, then you can stack on another one, and then you can stack on another one, and it becomes so much easier. I started out with just meal prepping and getting enough food and water in. And then I added on the sleep schedule. And then I added on putting my phone away. And then I added on journaling. It wasn't like I did all of these things at once. This is a slow progression over time, a lot of time. If there's any of these specific things that I mentioned, like, you know, getting a sleep schedule, if you want a video specifically on one of these topics for me to dive deeper into it, let me know whichever one in the comments and I can make tons of them. If you want to see an in-depth on each one, totally can do that. So I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.